Falcon fans, welcome back to another episode of Atlanta Falcon Pandemic. Oh, we made it. Wasn't easy. We had fun, but we made it to this point. And I'm going to come at you guys today with my reaction to the 53-man final roster. Uh, and I'm going to start out by uh, talking about a quote that Coach Raheem Morris said before he started doing the release. Uh, He went on to say that he noted that the difficulties that come with such roster decisions, knowing that it's just releasing more than just a player, but also ending someone's dream. When it gets easy to make those decisions on who you keep and who you let go, I'm out of here. This is what Coach Morris said. He said, I'm leaving and I'm walking away when that decision gets easy because that's always tough. It's a people first mentality. It's a people first business. We're a people first organization, and I'll always be that way. So those are words from Coach Raheem Morris. And with the team that we had, I mean, we had depth. I mean, all across the board, we had depth. And we had that team that you want to keep everybody, right? So, but and I said it um, early on that this was going to be hard for Coach Raheem Morris, and this, in my opinion, probably was the is the worst. I ain't gonna say worst, the hardest releasing of a player he of players that he's probably ever had to do. Not only did he get to know these players, he got to know their families, their ins and outs, personal relationships were established. So uh, this is one of those things. It's probably hard on any coach, but for the type of person that Coach Raheem Morris is, who gravitates to or so I say, everybody gravitates to him, and get real close to him. This is probably hard. He laughed with him, he danced with him, he ate with him, uh, yelled, and everything happened during these training camps, and so I mean, it had to be hard for him. But anyway, we got to this point. 12 training camp sessions, 3 preseason games, 2 joint practices, 1 intra squad scrimmage. Got us to this point, and not a lot of major moves, but there were some minor surprises, including keeping veteran Tyler Henneke as the third quarterback, rather than releasing him or trading him. And I initially, when he first took over in the preseason, had a was sold on getting rid of Tyler Henneke. But during the game of I think we were playing against Minnesota, uh, I gave Tyler Henneke a pass. I gave him a pass. One last season we saw spurts from Tyler Henneke, and that was playing with the first team. Uh, going through the preseason, you got players that had never played at this level, probably didn't quite learn the plays, and he probably didn't know the plays very well himself, considering they were probably using plays that were sitting in the back, the very back of the playbook. You're not going to use the same plays you use during the season, but especially during the preseason. So I gave him a pass, and as a third string, uh, you know, if you release him, where do you go? I mean, who do you go to pick up? I mean, there's not a lot of third string quality, yeah, quality quarterbacks out there. I mean, yeah, you can go pick up another rookie, but why would you want to do that? If push come to shove, is uh, if something was to go wayward with Kirk Cousins or uh, Michael Penix, then you want to have that option of bringing in at least an experienced quarterback. What you get out of him, you really don't know. But I'm going to give him that pass because during spurts, Tyler Henneke did show some. Come on, y'all, give me a break. I mean, he did show some promise. Uh, he did have the fumbleitis going on last season. He didn't quite make some good decisions. Um, but he's not too far removed from his days over at in Washington. So I mean, I'm going to give him a pass for a third string quarterback. I mean, who else were you going to go get? I mean, we could go get Cam Newton. Y'all funny, man. Y'all funny. I'm not gonna laugh too hard because he may see this. He is my neighbor, so and I'm gonna tell him I mentioned him on here. So when I do see him, but don't see a whole lot of them these days. But but anyway, back to the 53-man roster. Uh, we did keep somebody that I thought for sure that you know release somebody that I thought for sure that we were gonna at least keep. But let's go down this list, and I'm gonna try to bring up. Let's see, bring up so we can all look at it together. And let's see what we got here. And there are a couple names, like I said, that I thought for sure we were going to give a shot to, right? And I mean, we should have. We should have. Uh, there we go. There we go. I wonder what was going to happen to it. What happened to it? But there are a few on here. Let's see if I can get this thing a better look here. Uh-oh. And all right, let's bring it up now. There we go. Now, there are a few names on here that I thought for sure. I mean, you saw Chris Blair, and I kind of knew that Chris Blair was going to get released because early on he showed that his hands wasn't quite there. He showed his speed, all three games, preseason games. He showed his speed, but his hands were suspect. Now, the game against Baltimore, he made up for the drops and everything, but I think Coach Raheem Moore saw that his hands were kind of suspect. You know, even though he had a good chance of making this team. If you as you go down the list, you see, let's see, we got Natron Brook. I thought for sure he had a spot. I thought for sure. Now he may end up getting assigned to the practice squad at the very least. I'm hoping he does, because when you have a go getter like uh like a Natron Brook that just go all out, and he did it the whole game. There was no let up from him. Uh, I'm hoping he makes the practice squad. I'm hoping he does. Uh, who else? You got Spencer Brown. I didn't see a whole lot of Spencer. Uh, the running back. I didn't see a whole lot of him. Dylan Drummond. I mean, wide receiver. I think I saw him catch about one pass. I believe. I think I saw him on special teams. But didn't see a whole lot of him either. So a lot of, like I said, a lot of these names on here, you're gonna say, you can understand why they got released. But then, like I said, it's only a couple on here, maybe four, maybe even five that you're like, hey, I thought they had a chance, but they're still special teams, right? Prince Emili, I actually expected a lot from him, but he didn't live up to expectations. So, uh, and I know we're going to keep more defensive linemen than we normally do, but he didn't quite live up to the hype that I thought he was going to be, because he was one of the ones that got a huge motor, uh, and he was a big guy, but he didn't quite live up to expectation. John Fitzpatrick, I thought he was going to be here. He's an experienced guy, and I thought he was going to be here, but he dropped a couple that kind of was suspect. Of course, too, I think, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. There are a couple of tight ends out there that Raheem Morris just may go take a look at. He just may, or Terry Fontenot may go take a look at, depending on how the money is. Um, and I get into that in another video. Wide receiver OJ Hilliard, didn't see a whole lot of him. Cornerback Anthony Johnson, he just didn't do it at all. I mean, he had a couple of flashes, but he didn't. He just couldn't do it. That game against Baltimore, that let me know that Anthony Johnson was not the guy. I mean, a couple of plays, he just got plain old burnt, and it seemed like he was trying to take chances. But I don't know. I don't know. He just didn't show it to me. Uh, Next player, Zion Lowe. I knew he wasn't going to make it. I was hoping that he was. He, you know, outside the reason that he's a Georgia boy, I was hoping that he's one of these good stories that come along and with the low expectation, and he somehow gets on this team and then gets next to Grady Jarrett and Ebiketie and Taquan Graham and them and ride the coattail and just grow. But it did not happen for him, and I don't even think he has a chance of making the practice squad. Mainly because he doesn't play special teams. But I got a feeling that somebody may look at him. Uh, but I mean, my expectation of him. I mean, I was hoping he'd be here. Uh, he's a strong guy, no doubt. He's strong, but it just didn't produce on the field. We got LaCal London. I actually was looking for LaCal to have a shot. He showed a lot of promise during the during the preseason, during the OTAs, and he showed some during the preseason games. But apparently, it wasn't enough to impress Jimmy Lake or Coach Raheem Morris. Wide receiver Jesse Matthews. I didn't see a lot of Jesse. Don't know what he could do. Um, if he did do something, I didn't see it. Kenny Ojinai, that's the international player. I was hoping he was one of these feel good stories that years down the road you'll hear, you'll see a TV show made of him if he was to have succeeded. Uh, I was actually pulling for him because he's a huge guy. This guy is huge. Not only tall, he's wide, long arms, but he's just learning the game. So, and I mean, within like a couple of years, learning the game. But when they had the international tryouts, the international combine, he was the player that stood out amongst all the scouts. I mean, he impressed all of them. So it wasn't a surprise that Coach Raheem Morris brought him here to Atlanta to take a look at. Uh, but it just didn't pan out for him. Jaden Price, um, didn't see a cornerback. He was another one that gave up a few plays, and it wasn't because I noticed one play that he had that he was on. I want to say he was he on Blair. Yeah, he was on. No, not with Blair. Um, what's his name from Minnesota? Brain farting again, Phelps. But even in preseason, during the OTAs, he took a lot of chances that Coach Raheem Morris didn't like. I noticed that in the dome, Coach Raheem Morris kept having to, pull him to the side, and kept having to give him instruction. And it was mostly because he either gambled on a play, missed a tackle, or had a chance at a knockdown pass or interception, and it didn't succeed for him because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. But he's young, he's still growing, and he may just have another shot someplace else down the road. Uh, he played on special teams as well, so uh, it all depends. I don't know. I don't think he'll make the practice squad, but we'll see about him. Andrew Stuber, I actually thought he had a shot. Offensive lineman Andrew Stuber, because we know Caleb McGarry looked good in the preseason. He looked good against us. When he goes against other teams, number ones, he's going to be. We got to wonder whether or not he's going to stand up. I'm going to say Caleb McGarry does improve, and I hope he improves. But I'm just wondering. We brought him in. Did we keep any of them? I think we did. I think we did keep one offensive lineman because we brought in three, maybe even four. But let's see. Yeah, we didn't. Nope, we released all of them. I think we released all of them. I think we brought in four. We may have kept one. But I see we released three. Okay. But anyway, uh Andrew Stuber, I was kind of pulling for him. He's a nice stout guy, kind of strong, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see about him. Trey Tarpley, I didn't see a whole lot of him playing, and but because Justin Simmons came in as well as Matthew Judon, this pushed a lot of the players, that we thought had a chance of making this team, pushed a lot of them out the door. Uh, Safety wise, D lineman wise, linebacker wise, uh, they changed it. I mean, they changed the game plan. I mean, when they became available, I mean, I think Coach Raheem Morris was like a kid in the candy store when Judon became available, Justin Simmons came available. So uh, it didn't make this decision that much easier, but it was a no brainer what to do when it came to bringing those guys in. So let's hope all this pans out. I'm sure it will. Uh, let's see, D lineman Tommy. I didn't see a whole lot of him. Tommy Togodai, Togiai. I didn't see a whole lot of him. Uh, so if you guys did, let me know in the comments. I didn't see a whole lot of him to speak on him. Carlos Washington. I kind of knew he was going to be let go. He had a decent game preseason, uh, but when you have a rookie, running back such as McClellan, McClellan he has to get sure of his step, uh, of where he want to go. He has to make a decision and go. I know he likes to wait for that hole to open up. But during the preseason, McClellan showed that he gets undecisive when he get up to that line of scrimmage. But I know he's like I said, I know he's one of these running backs that like to uh, wait and be patient about that hole opening up. We have quite a few running backs that has made a living at doing that in the NFL. So hopefully it works out for him. I'm hoping it does. I like him as a runner. Barry Wesley. I don't know uh, nothing about Barry. He's an old lineman. I didn't see him play. Didn't even look at him during the preseason. Uh, and I called myself in the Friday Night Lights in the Dome practice. I called myself watching each of the offensive linemen, but I ended up watching them as a whole because I wanted to see if there was any chemistry being built up, and of course not with the, you know, with the ones we brought in because very I don't think if any. Well, no, I can say any because they did play uh, outside of the day ones. You know, team first team. I kind of like didn't really like pay attention. Uh, but I wanted to see the chemistry among the first team, so that's why I pretty much paid attention to them. But when the replacements came in, I didn't, you know, I kind of paid attention more to the wide receivers and Penix. But anyway, moving on. Uh, Dane Cruikshank. Dan Cruikshank actually had a chance before Justin Simmons came in. He was one of the guys that I thought we had high hopes for. He made a lot of plays. He looked real good in camp. I mean, real good. He fresh legs, uh, high energy legs. I mean, he was that guy. He was all over the place. Um, but when Justin Simmons came available, he got pushed out, pushed back. You know, and I'm not going to say he had a chance of making a team, but at the same time, he was outstanding. He was making plays. Uh, and I actually thought he had a shot until Justin Simmons came in here. Like I said earlier, Justin Simmons pushed a lot of these safeties, potential safeties, out the door. Um, who we got next here? We got Julian Davenport. I didn't don't know Julian Davenport. Didn't see him, any of him. He's a offensive lineman. Like I said, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to uh, the second team offensive. The offensive lineman outside of Andrew Stuber. And I only paid attention to him because he was there was a lot of talk about Andrew Stuber. So, but outside of that, like I said, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to him. If we had brought in any offensive lineman as a backup, it was, to me, it would have been a plus. But I'm gonna have to look at it again and see if we kept any. Because we did bring in a few. Brought in a few. And I think they brought in that many hoping that one or two of these guys actually stand up and beast out, you know, to the caliber like a Jake Matthews or something like that. But obviously, it didn't do enough for them to impress Coach Raheem Morris. Who we got next? Demond Harris. He was a D lineman, right? Didn't pay a whole lot of attention to Demond Harris. I take that back. Demond Harris actually played a decent game against Miami, um, and he actually made a couple of tackles. Uh, However, on plays, some plays he's actually seen kind of lost, and then like he didn't know, and he didn't have like that mean streak you want in a defensive lineman. He kind of like just going through the motion of, like it's a 7-on-7. He's just trying to get through the hole. He didn't do like have that half-hearted effort type of a play about him. And I actually like his size. Uh, he's a little bit bigger than well, I feel all of them are probably bigger than Grady Jarrett, but I don't know. I think he didn't do. I know, well, obviously he didn't do enough to impress Coach Raheem Morris. So, but he was. I think he was a long shot though, because I mean, like I said, this team was so stacked. But let's see who else. Kevin King. Kevin King, I thought actually had a shot to make this team over all the cornerbacks uh, that were in camp. I thought he for sure. Before he left Green Bay and was out and got injured, Kevin was. Oh man, he was that guy for Green Bay. Um, and he actually gave Dallas a fit. So I mean, I thought he actually had a shot. Uh, he came on. What this was the game against Baltimore, or the game against Jacksonville, where uh, where he showed up. But anyway, I thought he had a shot. Maybe he'll make the practice squad. Because I actually think he had a shot. But when you got players like Clark Phillips, that's Coach Raheem Morris loves, and he have high hopes for. And Clark is actually balling out. So uh, Kevin either had to show up to get a position. Show up and stand out to get a position. Next up we got Milo Effler. Milo had an excellent preseason, excellent uh OTAs, and he was another one of those safeties that I mean he was all over the place making plays. But like I said, just just like Trey Tarpley, and other safeties, Justin Simmons, just good gracious. Justin Simmons just everybody mad at Justin right now, huh? But not for those reasons, but when he got here, like I say, he pushed those guys out the door. And Milo made a lot of tackles. He made a lot of plays, in all three games. He made a lot of plays. So and he showed why, he should be on this level. But like I say, Justin Simmons just pushed him on out the door. The other safety is Josh Thompson, same thing. Now Josh thing about Josh was uh he couldn't he, I'm not gonna say he couldn't cover. He couldn't make plays. Let's put it like that. The type of play that he should have been able to make, he didn't do it. When receivers, especially in the Minnesota game, when those receivers caught that ball, these safeties should have been all over him because it was obvious that the cornerbacks couldn't hold him, and our safeties and our corners, we made uh, what's his name, Josh Johnson. We made him look like Joe Johnson. We made him look like like he was a starter in the NFL. So, but these safeties, they just didn't get it done. Uh, and rightly so. Justin Simmons was an easy pick, so he got pushed out. Wide receiver, he's another guy I thought had a high chance of making this team. Josh Ali, uh, and he actually played pretty decent. He actually played pretty decent, but I don't know what Coach Raheem Morris game plan with Josh because, like I said, a lot of people, even commentators, content creators, everybody thought that he had a high shot at making this team. But maybe he'll make the practice squad. Um, maybe he needs to leave for a season, get some experience, and maybe he'll land on his feet someplace else. Uh, Next up, we have offensive lineman Zach Bailey. No, now I look at it, we released all of these linemen. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, we released all of them. Hmm. Yeah. So, but Zach Bailey, he's another one I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. Uh, I was on that, like I said, on that team two offensive thing. I was more paying attention to, you know, what Michael Penix was doing as far as throwing to his receivers. So, I don't have a whole lot I can say about the offensive lineman on that second team. Lucas Dennis, another safety, pushed out the door. Uh, William Hooper, cornerback, pushed out the door. Like I said, when you have players like Clark Phillips that's making play, you got Mike Hughes back there. I mean, we're deep across the board. Uh, and actually thought that that he was going to make the special teams at least. He was going to be up, but he kept on as a special teams player because he actually did play pretty good. Uh, who else? Story Jackson, linebacker Story Jackson. I don't know. Story was that CFL player, and everybody thought that he was going to be able to come in and actually compete. Uh, but his name is not on this list. But he was released as well. Yeah, he was released as well. Now both of these guys got waived off of injury. Yeah, okay. So, well, I don't know. Story Jackson was one of these guys that you just knew that were going to be able to come in and at least get in a depth position and be able to perform on special teams because he is a special teams player. But obviously didn't do enough to persuade Coach Raheem Morris. Jared Jones Smith, another offensive lineman. Uh, Offensive lineman John LeGlue. Neither one of these are on this list. So I picked a bad list to bring up. Uh, yeah, yeah. So I picked a bad list to bring up, but John LeGlue, here's another offensive lineman that got released. Quarterback John Paddock, he got released again. Uh, Oddly enough, his name not on this list either. Hmm. Oh well. But yes, he got released as well, and he actually played decent for a quarterback, rookie quarterback. He may end up somewhere because there are quarterback problems all over the league, all over the league. But Atlanta don't have one. That was corny. I know, guys. I know. But anyway, tight end Austin Stogner. I actually thought he had a chance on making his team too. But we are deep at that. I don't know. I was hoping that we kept one of these, either Fitzpatrick or Stogner. But we got Wagner back from San Francisco, and we still have Cal Pitts. But I was hoping they moved Cal Pitts over to that slot, make him a full time receiver and don't use him as a tight end at all. But hey, it is what it is, right? We always can't get what we want. Another safety, Trey Vavel. He's another one pushed out the door uh, by Justin Simmons. Uh, Boy, Justin Simmons just he just changed the dynamic of that safety core, doesn't he? And of course, last but not least, we're definitely going to hang on to DeMarco Hemmings, safety DeMarco Hellens, and and that's probably another reason why a couple of these guys, you know, got released too, because we holding on to DeMarco Hellens. He made a name for himself. He'll be here. When he's get healthy, he's going to have a spot that's still here. Uh, but I don't know. I think with this, you're looking at the remnants of this 53-man roster, and as you look at it, this is your Super Bowl team, people. This is your division winning, NFC South Conference chip winning, Super Bowl winning team. You got Charlie Warner, Kyle Pitts, Ross Dooley at the tight ends, wide receivers Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, Cordero Hodge, Casey Washington. Now let me tell y'all something about Cordero Hodge too. A lot of people are wondering why and how he's still on this team. Right here. Cordero Hodge is that third down guy. He's Mr. Third Down. He's also Mr. Special Teams. And that's how you earn your spot. Every year, the Falcons always have that one player that makes his name on special teams that also gets chances to play in games. And Cordero Hodge is that guy. He's, like I said, he's that third down guy. He's that third down guy. And a lot of people wondering, like, how in the world he's still on the team? And then, of course, we got Casey Washington, the up and coming, the nice size, 6 foot. Is he 6'1" or 6'3"? 200 pounds. Either way it go, he's a big target. Running backs, we got Bijan, Tyler Algier, Avery Williams, Jace McClellan. No surprise there, right? Avery, of course, field punts, special teams player. Once again, and Coach Raheem Morris loves people who can play, who can go two and three positions. He loves that. And of course, our quarterback room, probably one of the best in the league, or if not the best. uh, let's see. We go down the offensive line. We got Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Drew Dahlman, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry, Ryan Nuzzo, Kyle Hinton, Storm Norton, Javon Gwynn. Guys, this line right here, and it is not the one of the big. It's not. They're not the biggest line in the league. However, this line here is smart, just like that 2016 Super Bowl team. They are smart, and if they can get that chemistry that 2016 team had, Kirk Cousins is going to cook the NFL this season. He's going to cook the NFL season. And when Michael Penix make his debut to take over the helm after Kirk Cousins is done cooking, Michael Penix is going to finish him off. So we just may have 2-3 seasons of an NFC South championship run. Maybe even 4 seasons. Maybe even 5 seasons. Why stop there? Why not us, right? We could be that dynasty. Speaking into existence, right? Defensive line, Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, Taquan Graham, Zach Harrison, Eddie Goldman, Contavious Street, Rook Ororo, Brandon Dorless. Guys, good gracious alive. That's a lot of motor power right here. That's a lot of motor power. Nothing but beasts, nothing but dogs right there on that defensive line. And then you come back to your outside linebacker. Matthew Judon, Lorenzo Carter, Arnold Ebiketie, James Smith Williams, D'Angelo Malone. Guys, good gracious. Hey, and we're not even gonna talk about, you know, the inside linebackers. Caden Ellis, Troy Anderson, Nate Lamon, J.D. Bertram. Throw them all. You can pick one. Pick one. Guys, where is he at? Arnold Ebiketie. Y'all better watch this guy. He's back to his original spot. He's back to his original spot. And he loves playing that outside linebacker. Watch that guy. He's gonna eat off of what these guys right here do. Arnold Ebiketie. Watch him. Now, We already know what Matthew Judon is going to do. On the defensive side of the ball, he's going to do what Kirk Cousins is going to do to the opposing defenses. He's going to cook. People say, well, he's not the best in the league. Yeah, but when you pair him up with this squad, when you pair him up with these guys playing beside him, watch he become one of the best. Matthew Judon has one of the fastest first steps I have ever seen. And like I said, I compare him to Mark Gastineau of the New York Jets back in 1970s, 80s. Guys, go watch Mark Gastineau's footage, and you'll see why I compared Matthew Judon to Mark Gastineau. But guys, what Kirk Cousins does for the offense is what Matthew Judon does for this defense. We already had a solid front. We already had that. We already had solid outside linebackers. We already had solid sideline to sideline inside linebackers. And then you bring in a monster like Matthew Judon who has fun inflicting pain. He has fun putting hands on you. He has fun. I mean, good gracious. I can't wait to see him play, guys. I can't wait to see him play. I really can't. Then you come down, you got the cornerbacks. A.J. Terrell, Mike Hughes, D. Alford, Clark Phillips, Antonio Hamilton. God. If Clark Phillips keeps growing the way he's growing, he's going to be here when Michael Penix takes over. Guys, we got cornerbacks. We got cornerbacks. I haven't felt this good about cornerbacks since Dion and what's your other boy's name? You guys know who I'm talking about. Since they've been here, we've never had cornerbacks like this. Quiet as kept, we've never had a team like this. I've been a fan since 1978. We have never had a team like this. Even the 2016 team. This team on paper looks better than that 2016 team. If they can, as a team, if they can put that chemistry together that 2016 team has, this team here is going to surpass what 2016 team did. Kirk Cousins is going to throw more yards than Matt Ryan did that season. He's going to throw more touchdowns than Matt Ryan did that season. The defense is going to have more sacks. The DB is going to have more interceptions. And Kirk Cousins just might stay clean because the offensive line is going to block. They like Kirk Cousins. Oh, yeah. Is he what? I'm going to tell you why they like Kirk Cousins. Offensive lineman. Any offensive lineman likes when they have a quarterback that can stay in the pocket and deliver the ball with the quickness. All offensive linemen like that. See, when the linemen had to block for Michael Vick, oh man, they enjoyed playing with Michael Vick, but they hated blocking for him because you never knew what Michael Vick was going to do. You know, it called for a pass play, and Mike them took off with the run, which means what? The linemen stuck there pass blocking, or their lack of, because, like I said, Michael Vick took off, and you never knew what he was going to do. So when you get a quarterback like Kirk Cousins that can come in and think pass first, or play, or play quarterback first, he's not going to take off running, so they don't have to worry about that. But he will get rid of that ball. He's going to he's going to get rid of it. And the way he gets rid of it make the offensive line look good. You got to love it. You got to love it. Who we at? The safeties? The safeties are going to eat this year. I mean, they're going to eat this year. Interceptions ought to be scooped through the roof. Interceptions ought to be through the roof. This core right here, This core right here. And Jesse Bates, he could have had more interceptions than he did last year. The cornerbacks, oh man, like I said, between these cornerbacks, these safeties, interceptions ought to be through the roof. We ought to set so many records this year. I mean, for fumble recoveries, interceptions, pass breakups. We ought to set some records this year. Uh, and then of course, you got what everybody is suspect on now is Younghoe Koo, and we I'm still get back to where I was, but you got Younghoe Koo, who this thing is just flipping out for me, who's our kicker, who's drilling it from 62 yards out, people. Yeah, I know he missed the 45 yarder, the 40 something yarder, the 52 yarder, whatever, but he was drilling them from 62 yards out. So if it ever get down to that, and I hope it don't have to get down to that, but if we do, Younghoe Koo got it. You got our punter, Bradley Pinion, who's been here for a minute, and our long snapper, who we're not worried about. And Bradley Pinion is one of these guys that can angle kick out of this world. So with the new kickoff rules and all that, Bradley Pinion is that guy. I ain't gonna say he's a special. Well, I might as well say he's a specialist. So if they want it deep down in the corner or deep or whatever, he's gonna put it there. Guys, this is our Super Bowl squad. This is our Super Bowl squad. And as fans, we need to get behind him and behind this team and rally up. If there's no other team in history, this is that team that we need to get behind. But guys, let me know if you think this are there any surprises on this team that released? Any players that you thought that we should have kept? Any player that you thought that's going to make the practice squad? Let me know in the comments. And guys, I surely appreciate y'all watching. That's my time, and I'm going to come back with another reaction on the next, because I think we're going to go out and get another wide receiver. I think we're going to get another wide receiver. Don't quote me on that. Don't know how you're going to do it, but I think another wide receiver is coming. Yeah. But guys, let me know what you guys think. Please like my video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already haven't. Thank you to the guys that already has. Hit that notification button as we receive more content. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.